Hi, good morning. Morning, everyone. Waiting. No, children, persevere. Don't give up. Dear parents, I know it's so boring for all of us. For the parent, for the grandparent, for the children, for us, for the teachers. We are all waiting. When would this tiny thing, which we can't even see it with our naked eye, coronavirus, would be absolutely eradicated? It is going to happen because evil things can never persevere, never sustain. You know the stories of the great historical thing, the mythological stories, evils, demons, the asuras, they will always be destroyed. And it would certainly be so. Certainly, they come up once in a while to try your patience, your perseverance. So today we are going to talk about success, but through certain beautiful process which you and I as children, as parents, as teachers, as the elders can attain. And this is some fantastic work which is done in India for thousands of years and in the modern science, both put together. One of the notice, as you walk into our school, you find a tree, isn't it? You might be often wondering, why is that tree? Let me show you the example. Remember this tree? This tree is the knowledge tree, is the Jnana Vriksha. And as per mythological story, the ocean of this universe was churned to bring out the nectar which would give a man, a god, a demon, eternal life, will never die. And apparently that time, today, if you ask most people how long would you live, they say maximum 60, 70 years, not more. And I ask them why. No, I don't want to be old, I don't want to be dependent on others, and my insurance and my children, they're worried about the future. I ask them, who said that you will be old and doddering? You don't have to. They said, yeah, then it is okay. So, in the ancient time, but the asuras, the demons, the gods, and the human beings, they all wanted to live for a long time. And we hear stories in the mythological story. Let's say this is Rishi Vashishta, who taught Rama and Lakshmana as per Ramayana. They lived for thousands of years. Can you believe that? Today, anybody lives more than 100 years goes Guinness Book of World Record. But as you learn through this process, what are they talking about during this entire process? You notice when you come in, you see the knowledge tree. Along with the knowledge tree is supposed to give you jnanam, knowledge, wisdom. Those of you been in the senior classes and in DP, you do that theory of knowledge. Why should we learn? How should I learn? And TOK, right? But in addition to the knowledge, there is something else. Just behind that, those of you who come now next time, you see the reception. The lady and the gentleman standing there to welcome you. And just above them is the Ashoka Stambha, our country's pillar. Most of you know it. Some of you don't remember it. What is written on it? It is given the message during Ashoka's time. And it has been accepted by India since 1947 as the pillar of the country. And it says, it gives the message, the lions to face all the four directions, and tells you, Satyameva Jayate, truth shall always win. What does that mean? And this is what I'm talking about towards success. See, whether you're a young parent or a very young girl, boy, or you're going towards a teenager, what do you want? You want success. And your success, you want it from out there. Where is it? In a great company, multinational company, if I get a good job and good pay, some 5-6 lakhs per month, great skills, or if I have lots of money through business or through my own entrepreneurship, thinking about great skills, discovering, like that. Great writer, becoming a great scientist, a great space astronaut, a great fighter pilot. It becomes a great story of success. How do you become that? So in which the first principle, ancient India and Vedanta talked about purity. Purity. Truth shall always win. It means purity. And this has been given, and people have noticed it over the years. In the ancient time, India is to be called Satya Yuga. By the way, what is the Yuga right now? Most people will tell you, most people who don't know, haven't been done enough study, will say this is Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga meaning all the nasty things supposed to happen. By the way, those of you study deeper, it has changed. It is not Kali Yuga anymore from 1595. Those of you interested, come to me. I'll refer with you with the books. It is changed to Dwapar Yuga. And Dwapar Yuga is the age of data, information, technology, IT. And that's how the enormous explosion of the information technology. Not only that, dear parents, children, if you look carefully, children, all the discoveries of importance started to happen in the world, not just India, from 1595 onwards. And 1595 onwards, the Dwapar Yuga started off. Notice all this: Graham Bell, electricity, Isaac Newton, Einstein, Galileo, Copernicus, everybody that time. Ferdinand Magellan discovered Earth is round. Before that, people used to think it's flat. I used to think, I didn't know till I went to the school and learned. I used to say, I can see from top of the mountain, from top of my house, tall house, those days, far away, and it's all flat. I said, how can it be round? I said, no, I don't believe you. You know, just by the way, offshooting a little bit for you to understand how much of changes have happened. You know, Bishop Wright is the father of the Wilbur and the Orville Wright, who flew the first aeroplane and told the world you can fly. So Bishop Wright himself was a lord. And this message which I'm talking to you about, it is there in London Museum. Those of you visit London next time, go to the museum and have a look at it. What was it? Wilbur and Orville Wright said, we are going to fly. I know, if birds can fly, I can fly too. Nobody believed them, including their own father. And the father was otherwise a very learned man those days. So he was invited to inaugurate one science exhibition. And when he came and cut the tape, inaugurating, the journalist asked him, Mr. Wright, your two sons have also got a stall in this science exhibition, and they're saying they're going to fly. What is your opinion? Give the mic. Bishop Wright said, and that is what is written in the London Museum. He laughed and he said, my sons don't realize that if God wanted us to fly, God would have given us wings and feathers. Since human beings don't have wings and feathers, how can we fly? That was 15th of November 1902. 1902. 15th November. Bishop Wright said this. And 2nd of December, just after 18 days, the first aircraft was flown by Wilbur and Orville Wright. and the whole world shook up. Today, flying is a piece of cake for you and me. So what I'm going to talk to you about, to be greatly successful, you need to practice certain things. And there are lots of things which is going to take you away from it. I'm going to talk about it. Okay? And those of you need more, talk to me, write to me, give me a telephone call, we shall discuss. But first and foremost is purity. Don't tell lies. Truth shall always win. You want to win, you want to be successful in life and not waste your 1 minute of life. Hold on to truth. I don't tell lies. More than 51 plus years. But you know what? Nobody taught me. My parents loved me very much. I was quite mischievous student. I used to trouble my parent a lot, particularly my mother. I think all of you are also doing it now. But some of you are not doing it and you're a beautiful kid, not like a monkey like me. I realized later on, don't do that. Nobody told me about it. My father and mother loved me very much and they gave us fantastic training. But this part of it about power of the truth didn't come to, I realized today, with the power of the truth, with the purity of mind, your mind will be as you are, so pure, like a young child. Hold on to that purity. Look at the great masters, great saints, Mahavir Jain, Guru Nanak, Guru Gobind Singh, Jesus Christ, Muhammad, Paramahansa Ramakrishna, Sankaracharya, Vivekananda, any name you take it, Paramahansa Yogananda, they're all so pure in mind. Isn't it? The purer you are, the world runs after you. Mother Teresa became a saint, pure mind. So hold on to that. No telling lies, purity of mind, purposeful. Intention is what I'm going to achieve. What I intend, what I think. And these are not big words. These are very simple. Yes, you have to practice. In this practice, in the Western world, I'm going to mix it with the Western world and Eastern Vedanta. So IB is the Western world education process and Vedanta is the Eastern ancient philosophy. IB is only 50 years plus. Ancient Vedanta is more than 5,000 years. So hold on to both. Latest of the technology of IB and the educational concepts and the technological expansion, scientific things done, coupled with the ancient rich heritage, which you can imagine, Harvard, Oxford, Stanford, they're also studying it. In India also, there is, meditation is a part of life all over the world. Oprah Winfrey, those of you seen the Friday show of Oprah Winfrey, richest lady in the world today. She's one of the richest lady. And she says, how can you start a day without meditation? Why meditation? So we'll touch upon it. Now, there is a psychoanalyst and a philosopher. His name is Walter Mischel. He's about 16th, 17th century, quite old, 300 years old. And he had come out with this, that if you learn to control your mind and not give in to distractions, and this experiments where somewhere around 18th century, 19th century was done by Walter Mischel, above 18th century, between 18th and 19th century. And what was the experiment? Experiment was, he called young boys and girls, 5, 6, 7 years old age. And he took one by one, not in a group, and showed them marshmallows. Many of you have eaten it, marshmallows. They're very tasty, got various flavors and sweetish. And children love it. No children? So he showed the marshmallow. And he asked them, would you like to take one marshmallow? Everybody said yes. He said, I'll give you one. And then he called one by one in a separate room, individually, separate room, each child. And he gave them one marshmallow. He said, this is yours. Do you want 2 marshmallows? They all said, yeah. He said, okay, you will get 2, provided when I give it to you, don't eat it straight away. Learn to exercise control and not eat it. Discipline, inner discipline. I'm going to go away. So Walter Mischel didn't stay there. He went away outside the room for 10-15 minutes. Now imagine for a young child 10-15 minutes with the marshmallow in front of his face. It's very tricky. Very difficult. But if you can, without eating, stay till I come back, I'm going to give you 2 marshmallows. Then you can eat them, both of them, straight away. What is this message? If you can control today, not being distracted, and this is somebody called Daniel Coleman, Emotional Intelligence. His latest book is written on focus, concentration, and on meditation. Mind you, meditation is the discovery of India, but the world is talking about it. Harvard School of Divinity is talking about Vedanta and meditation. And based on this emotional intelligence, this emotionally parent, very good book, Emotionally Intelligent Parenting. This is recommended by Daniel Coleman, not written by him, but he's written the forwarding in this. We utilize all these principles in our school. So Daniel Coleman found out through his, and which he tried to bring it to the world, that if you can hold on to this emotional intelligence and hold on to the purity, beautiful thing happens. So Walter Mischel, he did the experiment and he saw some children waited. They were successful. So they got 2. Some children couldn't wait. They gave in to the temptation and ate it up. So they got only 1. So what is the meaning in this? If you are pure, don't tell lies, even in a joke, sir. Ma'am. Yes, you. Even in a joke, don't tell lies. If you can hold on to, if you can control, like these boys, girls who controlled, he found 15 years after that, he studied them and he separated them, those who could control and those who didn't control, and he tracked them for 15 years. And when they were about 20 to 24, because they were experiment between 5, 6, 7, 8 like that, after 15 years, he found those boys and girls, those who could control, they have become great learner. Anything, whether it is sports or music or phenomenal academic success or becoming a good scientist or a national player or a world-class champion, control. So learn, exercise these principles of controlling. Have you noticed children who are becoming fat? Is why? Because can't control, have to eat. I feel like eating. But notice something. Supposing you love eating pizza and I bring 10 pizzas and say, this is all for you. You say, wow, and you will eat 1 slice and 2 slices and 3 slices. After 3, you will say, bus, no more. I say, how can you say no more? I bought it for you. Come on, you have to eat 1 more. And you eat 1 more just because you want to make me feel happy. I say, no. Some more. Hey, come on, I brought all of them. Now what will you do? You say, no sir, not now. I'll eat later. I say, no, you have to eat now. What will you do? You will run away from it. Same thing which attracted you to eat more is now taking you away from it. Any physical thing, any sensual pleasures, eating, smelling, doing. And children, those people who are fond of some stupid things like wastage of time, like televisions, like mobiles, like drugs, etc. You notice soon enough they become sick and doctor has to take care of them. Or you get a headache watching TV or mobile. You feel like switching it off and shutting it off. So this experiment actually has been done, this Marshmallow Experiment. You can YouTube it, Marshmallow Experience. Marshmallow Experiment, and it is by Philip Zimbardo. He's another specialist. He actually done that experiment. And you can see it in the TV that it is showing that the children who ate it and didn't eat it and things like that. So this is the purpose today I'm bringing it to you, is that with the modern world, compared to the ancient time things used to be table technology. What is the table technology? Let's say this telephone. Like this, in the ancient time, we used to have 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago, telephone. And it used to be there. Once in a while we used it, made national, international calls, or we used to go to the telephone exchange. I'm telling you, just about 20 years ago. Yeah, 20 years ago, I had to go to telephone exchange to make a call to America. We couldn't do it from home. It was not allowed. And subsequently it was allowed at home and like that. It was more or less very rarely used. But today with the smart telephone, what is it doing? It is not allowing you to stay focused. Today, if you have to learn anything, you have to learn to concentrate. So Daniel Coleman, same emotional intelligence, he's written this book called Focus. And he found, whether in the corporate, whether in the multinational MNCs, multinational companies, or personal, for any skill, you have to learn to focus, to concentrate. Swami Vivekananda, and in Vedanta, it is written, which Vivekananda is narrating and talking. He says, if you want the wealth of this universe, you want to learn anything, you want to earn anything, you want to get anything from out there to in here, you have to start from in here to out there. How in here? Concentration. If you learn to concentrate, and concentration cannot happen without focusing. I used to be children, I used to do a lot of dog training. I had 6, 7 dogs, yeah. I had big Great Danes and Dobermans and Cocker Spaniels and Labrador Retrievers. I used to love dogs and I used to train them. Today, I don't, but I became a dog trainer through an Italian trainer. And she was a lady and she trained me. And I could train the dogs to do almost anything. Pretty good. I used to do this experiment like the marshmallow. It was a part of the training. That time I didn't know about this marshmallow experiment. But I used to put a bone with a meat, mutton in it, cooked in front of the dog. And you know, dogs are very fond of mutton and bones. But I used to tell them, no. Meaning, don't eat. And this finger, this means no. One finger. That was my training. I mean, you can have any finger symbol. We had learned it to be one finger. And many dogs, of course, initially will eat it up, like many children, like you and I. Can't hold on to the temptation. But soon enough, they did it, and no punishment at all. To the dogs or to the children. But progressively motivate them with love, with care, with appreciation. To the dogs too, and to human beings especially. And the dogs, I used to leave the bone and the mutton, and initially I used to go there, hide somewhere and quietly look for it. And I could see the dog is looking like that, total focus onto that bone. Mouth is watering. And those who could hold on, they will not move. You could see in some time their body was shivering like this with excitement wanting to eat. But they didn't eat. And those dogs became much better trained and more controlled and like a real gentle, good dog. Same thing happens to you and me. Today, from that telephone, it becomes smartphone. All of us have smartphone. I also have smartphone. And the smartphone technology is trying to distract you and me from this focus. And the experiencer, the philosophers and the ancient rishis and the spiritual leader, they found out that the more you stay focus on one thing, the more successful you become. So children, I need you to be very successful. Your parents want you to be very successful. And parents, you want yourself to be successful and the children. Practice this. Purity, not telling lies, learning to focus, learning to discrimination. Right now, I should do self-control. And many of you do fasting, same self-control. And with this, I just need 3, 4, 5 years of yours. During this time, those of you in MBAP, 4, 5, just 3 years, 4 years more. Just watch what will happen. But this is the process right from the beginning, right from the earliest program to PYP, to MYP, to the DP. If you do this progressive process from a good mom, good dad, and you moms and dads are the best mom and dad in the world, and that's how we are together. My congratulations and pranam to you, grandparents and parents. It is you who have made up these children to come up to this life of purity, of truth. All of us want purity and truth. We don't want somebody to tell lies. We want to depend on somebody. We want somebody to be loyal. But listen, it needs some training. We can't blame ourselves or our children for not doing it. We need to take that training. So these 3 to 4 years and little more, if it is younger kids, if you do that, you will find the success comes just like a piece of cake. The success will run after you. And look at these animals. Look at the cats. Many of you have cats. Before they catch a bird or a frog or a rat, notice how much concentrating they're doing toward that rat. You must have seen in Discovery Channel, in Animal Planets, how the leopard, the lions, before they attack, first, they're absolutely still, not moving even one simple muscle. Look at it. You know, there was this a world champion bow and arrow shooter, Olympic champion. So he's writing, he says, before we shoot, I have to be absolutely still. And I have to practice before that pranayam. He doesn't know the name pranayam. Later on, he's known from India. He's talking about he's a Chinese. And he's talking about that I had to hold steady, still, can't even move. And he says in his article that you will be surprised how much we are moving. We are all hyperactive to super hyperactive. Many children we find in our school, but you know, they have tremendous energy. All we have to do is show them how to focus. Same hyperactive kid, progressively with this process of Vedanta with IB, will by the time 10th, 11th, 12th will be totally focused and learn to be still. This Chinese shooter is saying, if I move little bit, if I just pull the trigger, if it is rifle, or if I had just moved tiny bit, the arrow will go 1 feet, 2 feet away from the target. But I have to shoot all into the bull. Same way with cricket, with tennis, anything that you can think about. And pranayam helps them to learn to hold, collect that energy from within. Meditation helps you to focus within. Success from within goes outside. Not from outside comes inside. Most of the people running for success, no? They're getting little success. But that's it. And soon enough they say, where did I go wrong? So the difference between that kind of education, which is all other schools are doing it, to Vedanta with IB, with this school, look at the results of the children. Recent 10th standard, 12th standard, and we continuously. I'm proud of you parents because you mommy, you daddy are creating them. We are just being around and associating and guiding. Discovering their secret power from within the child is schooling, is parenting. And just like the animal, look at this. They're still and then they pounce. All the energy goes into concentration. They're not moving, holding still. Just like the rifle shooter, just like the tennis player. Totally concentrated, like a cricket player, before they go ahead and score century. Or the bowler who gets the wicket. Same way, you and I have to learn to focus and concentrate. What are the mobiles doing? It's trying to take away. All in multinational company, they are advertising. What do they want? Your attention. So what will happen? You're trying to concentrate and study. Suddenly, ting, something will come up. Another ting ting, another, supposing you're doing chatting. And as you send a message, immediately message will come. Your friend is typing, answering. So you're not waiting for an answer. And you know the worst part of it? Scientists have found out today that if you get distracted once, just for a second, 2 seconds, it takes 20 minutes for you to get back. What a wastage of time. So how can you remember and focus and do perfect 56 out of 56 or 45 out of 45 or be successful in life far ahead of others unless you learn to focus? So practice purity, loyalty, practice truthfulness, practice the breathing and the meditation every day. Swami Vivekananda had tremendous powers of concentration. He never shot a rifle. And in America, in Chicago, on the bridge over the river, he saw some children shooting down some ping pong ball. They had thrown it into the water, it's bobbing, and they're trying to shoot it. If you shoot it, ball sinks. Can't shoot it, ball keeps on bouncing. They were not being able to shoot it. It's very difficult. I have done a lot of those. I know it's very tricky. You have to be totally controlled. Swami Vivekananda asked them, what are these? How do you do it? And he said, can I try? And they said, have you ever done shooting? He said, no. And they laughed, giggled amongst each other, but they politely gave him. He took the rifle, he focused his mind, concentrated, and he shot 1, 2, 3 of them, one after another. And when he handed over the rifle, his devotees who were there with them, he said, sir, Swamiji, have you ever shot before? He said, no. He said, then? He said, I focused and concentrated in mind and I directed the bullet to my target. You direct your memory and the concentration power to what you want. And that is called perseverance, an attitude building through focus, through concentration. If you take it on this way, you will be surprised. Everything will happen. These smartphones are meant to distract us. And why? Because the big companies and all, they want your attention. And they want to see it. And for which the absolutely, the whole world of the IT sectors are actually the Silicon Valley, the specialists, and most of them are huge numbers are Indian. They are all discovering great possibilities, but they have become successful by learning to concentrate, learning to focus. The success is not out there, it is in here. Right now, don't waste a single minute time. You know what, champion, I didn't know all this. If I knew, I would become great like you. I'm not like you, I'm way down. But you all have the great potential. That's why I keep saying I'm jealous of you. Jealous why? Because you all have got a great education system. I wish I had that. I would be somebody great today. Now there is somebody called Carl Newfort. Carl Newfort went ahead and did another the discovery, and he did the research and he found out that, let's say, some songs, some particular picture has millions of viewers, millions of listeners, great hit, and some are not. Some may be just 1,000 viewers, some are millions. What is the difference? And this is what the success rate, what people are wanting it. How does it happen? Does it mean that the one which is million times better viewer, it's got actually million times better quality than the other one, which has got only 1,000 viewer or 1,000 listener? No. He says all it mattered is how that one has been presented. And the moment 1, 2, 3, 4, 50 people start to get it, the general mentality is everybody will flock towards that. So they see, first they will see how many viewers and good comment and go and buy that. Must be good. So between Apple and Samsung, this is going on. If Apple has more viewers, Apple will buy more. If Samsung has got more viewers, Samsung will. People are torn between the viewer's opinion. And in this case, the quality of the performance is dependent on to your inner purity. So utilizing Carl's report, what Vedanta and what the IB is telling about, that if you purify your own self, you don't have to worry about it. Automatically people will run after you. And there is skill versus challenge. Let's say if I take the Y as the challenge and X as the skill. Now, you notice, supposing you're beginning to learn tennis, let's say, or chess. Initially your skill is not good. Challenge is high. So research shows that your concentration power is much more when your skill is less and challenge is more. And you may be just learning how to play chess and you're wanting to learn, but this becomes more concentration only when you have little success, when somebody appreciates you. Supposing you are not being able to play the tennis or play the chess, you lose interest. You say, this is not my game. So here the teachers and the parent and you yourself, student, you have to make sure that with the help of the parent and the teacher, I become interested, successful. And this is why our motto is learning to love to learn. How to learn? I should be, and we have to principally excite them to do with that. Now, if the skill is more and challenge is less, like I'm a very good tennis player, I'm a very good chess player, and I'm playing against somebody who is very weak. My concentration is less. My attention is less. So they called it flow. F-L-O-W, flow. That if the skill and the challenge in the y-axis, skill in the x-axis, you can put it in any axis, and if the graph is right through the center, 45 degrees angle is going up, the concentration is perfect, challenge perfect, skill perfect. So you have to match the skill versus challenge. So automatically in your learning world, as you're taking it up, or in your business world, as grown-up parent, or in any field, you have to study to develop or practice to develop the skill, and you have to also challenge yourself equally. With this, make sure the distractions are taken away. Today, you maybe you're opening a mail, opening your internet to study something. And as you open, you see something will distract your attention, another picture will come, some advertisement will come from there, it will start off, and you get attracted to it. No, this is where comes inner discipline. So not this, not this. In Vedanta it is called Neti, Neti, not this. In your practical world, you're learning, not this. I have to get onto another world. And in this flow, a beautiful thing happens and experiences. Let's say in an, All India Institute of Medical College or IIT or the Business Management, AIMS, when you go down there and if you look at them, or the students, this is on India basis, all over the world, Harvard, Oxford, Stanford, etc. If you go to their library, let's say IIT, we have the experience. Children there would come in the morning, they have next day examination. They're in the library or in the computer room and studying. And notice, just like the snake has got the hood comes out to totally concentrate onto one point, into one, that animal, rat or the frog, and not wavering at all. Concentrating on one, not looking at there, not looking at there. So not looking at the mobile, not for a snake, for you and me, or the computer or the TV. Have you noticed sometimes at night if you see a movie, next day keeps on coming that scene into your head. Even if you go to sit down for meditation, that thing will come. So remember to keep your data input with purity. Now, as you get on to this world, you will find those children who are preparing for IIT final exams or some studies, they didn't get up for 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours, standing there, just visit the washroom, don't even go to eat. And in one instant, in many instances, I came to know that the visitor went away, came back after 8 hours, same children studying on the same table, did not move. And they didn't go for dinner. They stayed almost 24 hours in that room. See the flow, see the concentration, see the power. Develop that. You have that power. You are that power. The more distracted you get, the lesser the performance it is. I remember my days in the fight or flight. See, why I say I'm jealous of you? Because I wish somebody had talked to me like this. Concentrate, learn to focus. And we used to think, oh, this is all Gyanam, Bhashan, eating up my head. We used to think like that. Oh my God, again. No. Unfortunately, our parents kind of wanted the best for us. My father and mother loved us. But they gave us lots of training, beautiful opportunities. But this part of it, let's say telling truth, we were told, don't tell lies. But we didn't understand the power of it, the message of the Vedanta. Here I'm telling you, hold on to it. And those children go ahead and create world. So I'm sharing with you one more book called The Meditation and its Vedantic Methodology. This is by Adityarananda. It's a Swamiji, a great monk of Ramakrishna Mission. He's written this beautiful book and referred to all the Vedantic principles and the policies. So in this, I realized in the fight or flight that firstly, the challenges were great, my skill was less. But to make my skill better and better, no story. Actually, realized I later when I read about these IIT people and listened about and talked about and video film, I used to sit in that cockpit, hot sun, no cover, no sunshade, and streaming away with sweat for 8 hours, 9 hours, from morning till late evening. I used to sit there. I will get familiar with the cockpit, the switches, read the book, learn more about the system, wouldn't get out. Morgan, what happened? I actually became a great fighter pilot. So children, hold on to it. Stickability. Sticking on, not giving up. Whatever is weak, I'm not very good at it. I'm going to show you. I will show you. I'm going to do it. Purity of mind, truthfulness, stickability. And with this, when you join, it's very easy to give up. Remember those children, they also wanted to marshmallows, but they couldn't hold on to it. They gave up. So, you have the power. Exercise that power. Where is the treasure? Where is the wealth? Within. And that's how we do the meditation, to bring it up. As you do the meditation, mind becomes sharper and sharper. What is meditation? It's just learning to concentrate. Whether it is you follow the technique of breath, follow the breath. Whether you follow the technique of a name, Allah, 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 or Christ, Christ, or Krishna, Krishna, or Mother, Mother, on a name called japa, or you're just learning to be still and focus on a light, or focus on an idol, focus on a picture, or focus on the light inside your mind. Any one of them processes, you can see it is nothing else but learning to be still and not moving. In your meditation, one technique. When you sit down for that 5 minutes or 15 minutes or half an hour, don't move. Let's practice it. Don't move. And automatically you will see, don't move from the body. Ancient rishis found out the breath controls the mind. And don't move will go into the breath. With the breath will become calmer and calmer. You will see yourself today itself. Practice it. And take the guidance from your parent. And if you like, call the teachers. And you will find your mind will become steady, sticking onto one point, and practice it. The sharper you sharpen the knife, the sharper your mind, your intellect, your memory will get. I wish you good luck. Parent, grandparents, children, my namaskar.